just going to read it quickly before we get her on here, and I'm going to remember to stop sharing the screen. I used to be someone who was depressed and anxious about my life. Now I'm someone who chats up everybody and tries new things. And I'm quickly going to say, when Andrea first joined us, where are you? Here you are. We're going to, I'm going to pin you so I can see you and spotlight you for right now. Is she spotlighted for you guys? Or just pinned?
Well, she's not talking, so I think maybe we don't see her.
Right.
Let's introduce.
Okay, but I'm just going to quickly say, when Andrea first talked to me, she was so like, I should probably do this, and looked so irritated by it. So just frustrated. I was like, or maybe not. And I'll let you go from there, Andrea.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, so when I started, I'll just back up for a second. I
did jump right in.
Yeah, I got diagnosed last fall with a terminal disease. So I was given 18 to 24 months. Right now I'm feeling good. When I first was diagnosed, obviously the whole, what am I going to do? And I was really depressed. Losing your job too, and sort of your entire identity, it goes away, and you're like, what do I have now? And I didn't want to be depressed and sad for the rest of my life. I wanted to like really enjoy it, and get out there, because I love life, and I've always loved doing stuff and experiencing things. So but I'm also very introverted and shy. So that was, and I thought, well, maybe I'll volunteer. So I was talking to my therapist, and she said, well, you could go read to people at like long-term care facilities and like take them on trips to bingo. And I'm like, I would rather die now. Sorry. One of my mechanisms. Anyway, so I talked to Stephanie. She and I had worked together a few years ago, and we're both badasses. I think that we really kind of chafed against the corporate world. But I talked to her, and she kind of put these questions to me, like, well, what do you want it to look like? What do you want the rest of your life to be like? Who do you want to be at the end? Like, how do you want to show up, right? And so I started thinking about it. And crazy enough as it seems, this coaching thing it has been life-changing for me, because now I'm like, I've been out volunteering at like arts festivals, and like I'm getting involved with the gay community here, and I'm just trying new things, and like I'm talking to strangers at the store and just being weird, But it's good. And I mean, my husband and I are like, we're planning travel. And I mean, after a few humps and everything, we're getting through it, and it's a process, sort of like it is a project that both of us are going through. And our goal, the objective of the project is to just, having left nothing on the table, I want to go and be happy and go, done, I'm good, And everything I'm doing now, what I'm working towards, is helping me feel that way. And it's become easy. And I don't know how detailed you wanted me to get, Stephanie, but for me, I was so stubborn, and I was like phoning it in and doing the work and blah, blah, blah. And then we got to week 7, I think it was the Your Life is a Movie. And that one just spoke to me. I finally went click, and I got it. And it was like, and from then it's just been like, oh, my self-image manifesto is coming out and all of these things. And now I really get it. And I can't even say like how much better my life has been in the last 6 months, just because of this program and because my whole mind shift. So thank you guys. And
thank you. That's
it's fun. The community is really fun and badass and cool and funny too. So yeah,
it's true. We do have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. What I found, I love what you just said about, because I noticed before you had the total big boom though, you were having these little ones though. And you were just getting more curious. And that's what I thought was really interesting, is when you started going, oh, well, I guess I could start assuming different things about people, or assuming different things, like stop judging certain things as good or bad. That sounded so like positive bullshit there. That wasn't how it was in context. But do you know what I mean? Like, you were very much willing to question things, and that started to make these little different decisions.
Yeah, and I think it helped. It seemed to me like a big cataclysm, but I guess, yeah, it was working towards that, because I was starting to identify I knew I didn't want to read to old people. No offense to old people, they're great. I am one. But that wasn't really what filled my heart or would make me feel like I had value in the community. Because again, we live out in New Brunswick. So I'm from Toronto. We've been here 5 years. So it's not the same community that I had in Toronto, where I lived for 30 years, but it's a different one that's growing. And so it's just sort of nice to like be able to define, like, and to stop like being afraid of people and going like, oh, they're gonna hate me, I shouldn't even talk to them, like I was like that. And now
Can I think a great example would be the way you handled your birthday.
Oh God.
It's so relatable, because it was literally like a case study in choosing your thoughts. Now, I'm just going to say up front, there's some thought shifting going on that Andrea is going to talk about. And we get into that in the program, and how it's not just, hey, I'm going to just do this on a whim. There are tools we use, but go for it. Go ahead. Yeah. If you want to explain.
So we had big plans for my birthday, because who knows, right? It could be my last, blah. So we made big plans, the swanky hotel, and like everyone in the province goes from here, and it's supposed to be really nice food and stuff. And we drove down there, and there's like overflowing garbage cans when we first went in. And it was just like screaming kids all over the lobby. And like the restaurant was like burgers and fries. And it was like, this is not what we expected. Before, I would have just sort of gone, oh, that's okay, we'll just put up with it. Harold, my husband, wouldn't have. He would have been like, we're out of here. And it would have caused an issue, because I'd be like, no, don't make a fuss, don't make a fuss. And like now it's just like, no, this is ridiculous, and I want a refund right now. And so we left, and it was like, okay, well, let's try somewhere else in St. Andrews. And so we went to like 3 different places, and it was just this like montage of comedy of errors. It was just ridiculous. And then so at the end of it, I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I love Captain Sub. Let's go home and we'll get Captain Sub, and we'll just be happy, And then it so happens we drove by the most, again, is probably our favorite restaurant in all of the world. We drove past it, and Harold just went in, and I'm like, oh, no, it's going to be busy. It'll be busy for Thanksgiving. Don't make a fuss. And I was just like, all right, go for it. And he comes back out, and he got us a table at the bar. And so all of those little things, whereas like say 2 years ago, even a year ago, I would have been like, don't make a fuss, like just, like don't raise your head above, don't like annoy people or anything. And now it's just like, no, I don't have the time for this anymore. So it's like that, and I'm trying things and liking some.
Wait a second. I don't even think that, but the thing is I don't see you as making a fuss either. You're just kind of going, hey, let's see this. Do you see what I mean? There's a difference. Yeah. There's no fuss involved.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, oh, no, I don't want to be here. And I know I won't be happy in 6 hours. So let's just cut it off right now. And it was, and again, it was so easy to do, because it was like, this is not what I want. And if it's not what I want, then I'm not going to follow and keep trying to do that. So for what it's worth.
Nadine, any questions?
Yeah, you talked a little bit about your self-image and your identity. And I think that's been like such an interesting shift for you, of seeing yourself in a new light. What would you say to the folks on this call who are maybe new to that, and how you were able to see yourself in a different way through doing this work?
I think because for so long, and so many of us, I really defined myself by my career. That was my success, And then to step away from that. And, and the first question that people usually ask you after your name is, what do you do? And you're like, I don't know anymore, And so it was like, how do you still stay relevant if in a conversation that you're not bringing your half of like, oh, this is what I do in the world, and like, this is what you do, and I do nothing now. So it was sort of like, how do I redefine? And then it was like looking in, what did I like to do when I worked? Like what was I good at? Where did I like to be involved with things? And so I've been following like those little areas and just kind of, and again, like finding like little weird volunteer angles to do, like, fixing a database and stuff. But, it's just that, yeah, like really kind of thinking, well, that was an old persona. Now it's up to me to find my new one. And what is that? So it was kind of it was a really scary juncture at the beginning. But then again, through this, I've kind of like, I feel like I have meaning, and I have some purpose, which is I think what people want, to just feel like they meant something. So
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, you mean a lot to us, and we thank you so much for like coming and sharing your deeply personal story. If anyone has questions for Andrea, please pop them in the chat. And we're just so grateful that you came and chatted with everyone today. So thank you.
Thanks, everybody. I hope it helped.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see the art you're creating too. Like, I'm so
Oh my
excited
God.
about it.
Oh, it's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, I can't wait. So giddy. See, there's cool stuff going on. Let me unpin you. Thank you. Okay, you can relax. Thanks so much. Yes, all these people are saying thanks in the chat, so have a look there.